Homeschooling, rather home education, has been prevalent for many years overseas. In fact, it has been there even in our country when we had a kind of a home in a Gurukula. But over time, when the industry schooling took shape, we really started wanting to produce products that will suit the industrial needs, and we forgot all about education. So education doesn't start and end in a classroom. It is a continuum. So the process of educating a child cannot be rested with a rigid regimental school. It is a partnership with the child by all adults involved in the child's life, and the most important people being the parents, and where the child spends a lot of time with them. So doesn't education have to be a responsibility of parents too? Yes. So that is why now parents are waking up to this, especially when they are seeing their children happy. Now over the last couple of years or more, lot of talk has been going on about respecting children and listening to them. So now younger and younger parents are beginning to realize that their children are getting as bad or as good a raw deal as what they have, or even worse, in their schooling. So now this has to change, for which many people are now taking up something called home educating their child. But the issue is that we know we are educated, but we don't know how to teach the child. That is why it's important for us to know how to teach the child, for which we really need to be aware that unschooling or deschooling cannot be a fad, and you cannot let it go after a while. You cannot put the child into school after giving her a hope of a new form of education. So it is important that parents come together in small numbers and set up cooperative learning facilities outside of school. So they need to pitch in their efforts and bring in the teaching or the learning which the child will enjoy. So ultimately the idea is to create a person who has a lifelong interest in learning, which can happen especially with a family who is learning learning as a family. Now there might be questions as what about peer group? This is why I'm saying a small group of parents need to get together. A child alone at home will feel lost out and would like to probably get back into the system even if the system is abusive. But the idea of a parent willing to invest time, it's very important that one of the parents, if not both, should make time available as an investment into the future for these children who have no other actual option of learning in the level or in the kind of caliber which their parents can bring in. So this is very important, that it is not, it cannot be considered as oh my God, I have to leave my job and sit at home. It is actually an investment. Without earning, you are actually investing. So this kind of investment is a lifelong investment, and it reaps its benefits much more than anyone can perceive. I've seen it in myself with my kids. Even though I was not able to help them as much as I would have liked to, because I didn't know how to teach them, now I'm inviting parents to come and learn from our center. Our center is open for parents who can come and learn how to teach their kids, how to associate with them in the learning process. So I've set up a library, I've set up an international classroom where children can come in with their parents and take sessions on different subjects. I don't straitjacket subjects like mathematics or this. I give them sessions which have a telling on everyday life they see, like mathematics in biology, or geography and geometry. So how they relate to one another, so that children will be able to see life and around them very differently. So this is what I offer at the center. And children as young as from the date of birth, if the parents have decided to home educate their child, there they go. So the day one, you can start. It's good to know what the child is asking at that age, and then go along with the child and invest. The job most taken for granted is being a parent, and there's no preparation for it. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what the child needs at different ages, except the physical needs of the child. We really don't know what mental hunger or what is the plane of development of the child. So here, this is where I ask young parents to educate themselves, not only on engineering and medicine and those kind, but to live. To live, you really need to know what it is to procreate and what it is to nourish that created soul, that created being. So now it's the education being an aid to forming of a human being. We just leave it, we outsource it. I really want to know if we can take a yardstick or we can take a survey of what children are going through in these places, the level of turbulence, of mental turbulence and unrest and revenge feelings of revenge, which I have felt in my years of work with children. This is what set me into understanding what really the needs of children are. Children want peaceful education. They richly deserve it. I think it's a right of every child to demand from their parents a parent who is prepared to take me as a child. Unless parents are prepared to bring up their child, I think it's unfair for the parent and the child. So preparedness involves understanding the mental needs of child and the spiritual needs of a child and what that spiritual needs can grow into. So this is very important as an investment into the future for parents. Many of them will ask, okay, they're going to home educate, what it is that is possible for them. They have to appear for competitive exams. Competition is something which a child should not feel in terms of bad taste, of revengeful competition. It should be competing with their own performance, and for that to assess where they stand and to be a part of society, to take up further qualification. These kids are most prepared. They will be able to write the National Institute of Open Schooling exams at the 10th standard level, as well as if it is so required by the parents, the O level of the Cambridge exams, they can write that as well. In 12th standard through open school, they can write the A levels. So these don't demand a formal schooling, and I feel we must use this into the advantage for the child to offer a whole array of subjects which are much more than just these 4 or 5 subjects offered in a traditional school setup where there are 60 kids in a class. There is peer learning, we all know, are the best way that a child learns, rather than, and all of us know Bloom's taxonomy as well. When a child teaches, the child learns very well. Our perspective is that, oh, home educating, would they be competent enough in the rough and tough world? I believe world is not rough and tough. It is only the human beings out there, and children are much prepared, they are forgiving, they are taller human beings than we all imagine them to be. Thank you.